Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today I'm bringing you some nice Hecarim Zed gameplay. So this is gonna be Ephemeral, right? So Ephemerals is one of my favorite decks of all times, and I think they're actually pretty decent in the current meta because they have a kind of okay matchup into Seraphine Ez Noxus. Usually Noxus decks hate going against Ephemerals because they don't want to have to spend all that value in Ephemerals. And if you have the Shock Chariot, the Shock Chariot can keep coming back every single turn, every time that you attack on ephemeral, right? So you're able to kind of beat those Noxus decks because of the ephemerals. And this deck has actually done well enough that people are like bringing it to tournaments. I think Elder Senior, who's a previous seasonal champion, brought it to the Mystic Shot podcast tournament earlier this week and actually won first place with Hecarim Zed. Now this is not Elder Senior's list, but you get the idea. This deck could probably push some damage. And the reason why this deck is going to make a slight comeback is because we have access to the Moonlit Glenkeeper. So this card, when you summon ephemeral ally, you grant it +1/+0. So now that means that all your ephemeral allies that you play during the Shock Chariots are going to have an additional +1 attack when the Glenkeeper is on the field. If you have two of these, then it comes +2, etc. And you're going to see how quickly out of control this gets, because in addition to all of that, this summons a sapling when you trigger the Nightfall effect. So you not only get something that can buff your ephemerals, but you also get a unit out of it that's going to be buffed by itself, lets you trade with an opponent's unit because of the challenger, and can summon your Shock Chariots, and can also level up your Hecarim. So you kind of get so much value from this card, and it should be a staple on all these Hecarim Zed decks going forward for the rest of Legends of Runeterra history. The rest of the deck is kind of just built trying to get us to those win conditions, just putting a lot of pressure on the opponent. So you have triple Fading Memories. That's so you're able to copy everywhere from a Shock Chariot to Soul Shepherds to Stage Hands to Glenkeepers. You have a lot of hit with Fading Memories. I also like the Fading Memories in this deck because it's a cheap way to be able to trigger Nightfall, so that you can actually summon the Glenkeeper on a turn. Even if you don't have 3 mana, you can still summon the Glenkeeper on your attack turn if you're able to Fading Memory a different target. Sapling Tusk ends up being really good because it gets buffed by both the Shepherd and the Glenkeeper. So it ends up being really nice and lets you just pull the opponent's units away to allow your Zed to be able to push 3 damage to level up. Triple Shadow Apprentice because we play enough ephemeral units to be able to buff the Shadow Apprentice to great heights to just push a lot of damage. 1 Glimpse, 1 Nullify to protect us and to be able to draw. I think we might actually go to 2 Glimpse and get rid of the Nullify, but we'll see. I feel like I find myself sometimes running out of resources quickly, so I don't hate the idea of double Glimpse. Triple Onslaught with Shadows just synergizes so well with the Soul Shepherd and also with the Glenkeeper. I like this over the Haunted Relic because sometimes we do have a lot of units in our board because of the Glenkeeper. So the Haunted Relic taking 3 spades is really awkward in certain situations. The Onslaught of Shadows sometimes can be awkward with just 2 spades. So I think I prefer the Onslaught of Shadows. These are also bigger units as well, and they don't lose to stuff like Static Shock and Pokestick. Shock Chariot is honestly the MVP of the deck. You want to keep Shock Chariot in your mulligan. The earlier you have them in the graveyard, the better. That way you get a lot of value from the Shock Chariots attacking because you have a lot of ephemeral units. And it's also one of the best things to copy with Fading Memories, so that you can have 2 or 3 Shock Chariots in your graveyard. Once you get to that 2 or 3 Shock Chariots in your graveyard, the game becomes easy. The games that I have the hardest time winning is when I don't draw the Shock Chariot. That's how important this card is for this archetype. Soul Shepherd is kind of playing like the same role as Glenkeeper, where you're able to buff your ephemeral units. Let's say that you're able to buff them by +1/+1, preventing them from dying to some removal, which is kind of nice. 1 Syncopation, so that sometimes if you drop Hecarim, you're able to kind of swap to protect the Hecarim if you need to. That's also what Memory Cloak is right here. You're some protection for our Hecarim, or sometimes our Zed, as they can be really good game enders. Station is just so good, gets rid of a blocker, and can get buffed up by both our Shepherd and our Glenkeeper. 3 Twin to kind of keep our Hecarim or our Zed alive, or any one of our other engines as well. And sometimes you can actually push some damage with it. And then obviously Zed, one of our champions. Honestly, Zed hasn't felt that great in this deck, but he is summoning a Shadow, which can potentially get you your Shock Chariots if you have some of them in your deck. So I think it's incorrect to remove Zed because he can put a lot of pressure, and at the very least, he's forcing the opponent to have to remove him. 1 few Musicians to potentially have some extra draw because we're only playing 1 Glimpse. And the extra mana is also really nice because we're playing triple Dragon's Ambush. Now, Dragon's Ambush is really good in this deck because we have Glenkeepers and Soul Shepherds to actually buff these Dragon Links. So they have 3, 4, or 5 attack, depending on how many angels you have in your field. And they can also enable your Shark Chariot. The best times to use the Dragon Ambush is in your defensive turn. That way you're able to lifesteal and also summon Shark Chariots while you don't have the attack token, right? So it ends up being really, really good. And finally, we have Hecarim, which is obviously our big game engine. Hecarim got buffed like about a few months ago, so that now once he levels up, you know, the effect is permanent. So if you can somehow level up Hecarim, even before you drop him down in the field, it's nuts. But if you haven't yet, that's why we play Syncopation and the Memory Cloak to be able to protect the Hecarim. Because really, all you usually need is just one attack to level up this guy and just have the game completely turning. But anyways, that's the deck breakdown here. Really fun deck. So I hope you enjoy the games coming up soon. And if you do, make sure to like the video and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. In this match, we're going against Seraphine Ezreal Noxus. So against the best deck in the game. It's going to be really difficult. Now, one way that we do win is by having Soul Shepherd, right? So Soul Shepherd to buff our Ephemerals, to have especially the Shark Chariot so that they have more than 1 HP, helps a lot. So we can play Soul Shepherd. I actually don't think we play the Shadow Apprentice. So what I find out as I play this deck more is that we want to keep the Shadow Apprentice. Okay, so what I was before I think. So what I was saying is that you kind of want to keep the Shadow Apprentice as a way to enable the Nightfall on your Glenkeeper. Here, what I'm thinking of is if I play the Shark Chariot, I can push 3 damage, right? And I start working on my level up on the Hecarim. If I play the Soul Shepherd, I'm not doing anything if the opponent plays something like this. So it's always going to be Shark Chariot. Now, what I can do is that now I can play Soul Shepherd on turn 3, save 2 spell mana, so that on turn 4 I can play Zed and have Memory Cloak as a backup to be able to protect the Zed against removal. The problem with that is that obviously Zed could just die to a double Mystic, right? So now that we got a second Shark Chariot, I think it's actually better for me to go here and then go double Shark Chariot next turn with the Fading Memories.
Striking looks and stunning wit.
Do I let him stun this, I guess? The other thing that we can do is that we can play the Shadow Apprentice here, right? So that we can block the turn of the Rose if we need to. And I think I'm cool with this. I don't want to take 5 damage if I don't have to. I'm cool with this because my Ephemerals are pushing more damage than the Shadow Apprentices. So opponent needs to stun and flock this before we get multiple Shark Chariots on the field. So what this is telling me is that the opponent is now relying on being able to remove our Ephemerals to prevent the Sharks from coming back. So technically they could, right? They could have double Mystic to remove both Sharks. Or they could just stun like this. So it's a good thing I drew the Onslaught of Shadows, because now the opponent needs to have 2 more answers for the Onslaught of Shadows, right? And these things both have 3 HP, so Mystic Shot doesn't do it. So just like that, we baited out that stun there. And by bait, I mean like we didn't really bait it. And I want to keep this Fading Memory. Is that true though? I want to keep this Fading Memory back. Or do I just copy the Shark now before it goes away? I could just copy the Shark now before it goes away, and the opponent will know I have another Shark in my hand. Don't know if I agree with that. Because otherwise the other copy that I'm doing is going to be a Soul Shepherd. And having triple Shark in the graveyard kind of seems kind of cool for later turns. Over having a second Soul Shepherd on the field. Because if I don't copy it now, I can copy it later. I think I'm gonna pass. I think 2 Sharks might be enough. But I might regret that decision. If the opponent does nothing here, I think I'm passing. We can also just play Zed and just bait out the removal right now. This is what I'm talking about. Now I don't have really any ephemeral targets aside from the Soul Shepherd. Yeah, I'm passing. I'm passing, because now we can go for the memory cloak. Opponent doesn't have time to be able to develop their bark, right? Or we could just always glimpse too. What about we glimpse first? See if the opponent gets baited into doing something. Okay, doesn't do it. That would have been so good. We go here, we play the Shepherd, now we have Nopify, and we also have Twin. This gets buffed by itself. Opponent gets the stun, which is actually a big deal. So they do stop our attack now. And that's why I wanted the Shark instead. Because we got done double Shark. Now, we did bait out the Sentry, which is not bad. The problem is that we're not drawing anything else that we need in this game. So we're literally not drawing anything else that we need. Hecarim would be nice. We don't play Harrowing, so that's not an option. As long as the opponent can keep stunning my unit, the ephemeral unit, then they should be okay. Okay, so they won't be able to anymore here. What if we actually stun the Sentry? What if we actually go like this? I guess technically we played a second Shepherd, we push more damage, but I kind of like getting rid of the blocker. Especially because we have the Glenkeeper to follow up. So less blockers that they have, the more damage that we're pushing. Okay, so opponent's digging. Not only that, but they only use... Last time they only used Jump Solo, so whatever they're drawing here is not discounted. Yeah, they're literally desperate to kill this. So I'm gonna actually just Memory Cloak this. That's probably the best Memory Cloak target, because I'm denying 2 spells. So they're actually desperate, but this Memory Cloak denies 2 spells. So I don't think opponent has any way to stop the Glenkeeper from summoning an Ephemeral and be able to win the game from there. No. You don't... No, don't do it. Don't do it. You're actually gonna commit for this Sentry. Okay, so neither of these cards were discounted. Okay, this one was discounted. So opponent still has 1 more card that's discounted. We could just Nopify, right? That way we keep an Ephemeral, and the opponent will need to have another way to kill this Ephemeral. So this way we keep the Ephemeral, we get another Ephemeral here. Because if opponent has the answer, I mean, they can just play something here. But I wanted so that... Okay, well, perfect. So I wanted to have 2 Ephemerals that the opponent has to deal with. This is going to be enough to trigger our Sharks. We have what? We have 2 Sharks in the graveyard, so we go like this. Right, we only have 2. Yeah, we only have 2. So yeah, we go like this. And that should get us there. Okay, we got there. A little bit dicey, not drawing our Hecarim, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. I think Shark Chariot just carries this matches against Noxus, so that's why the Shark is so important in this matchup. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Caitlyn Teemo. So it's gonna be a race, right? Because we're pretty much just gonna ignore everything that they do. This is not bad. I mean, we can play the Memory's Cloak on the Zed and keep it alive. I think that's a little bit good. I think we just go Sapling Tusk. Right, so Sapling Tusk with the Shepherd allows us to potentially get rid of the Teemo. And there it is. The only problem is that I kind of don't want to play this now, right? I think I'm okay taking another hit from Teemo before we actually commit the Sapling, because I want to make sure that I have the Soul Shepherd on the field when we do the Sapling. That way the Sapling has at least 2 health and doesn't lose to a Poké Stick. Do you have a Mystic? Really? Is that really worth it? I guess the opponent is really scared of the Ephemerals getting buffed up.
Well, what have we
That's the only reason that I can think of. But now Zed is gonna level up, right? Unless somehow we hit exactly 2 of them. I guess we could also just hit 1 and hit the Sapling. Yeah, there you go. We can go here. We're still gonna level up Zed because we have Twin. We'll have the Shark Chariot now. You hit exactly the sapling, huh? So, like, they already committed one Poké Stick, right? I mean, sorry, one Mystic. So they will have to commit the second Mystic, and then they're losing to the Twin anyways. One goes like this. So I guess we go here. If opponent does some block with the Zed, they're taking a lot of damage. I want them to have to lose either the Caitlyn or the Chump one, otherwise they just let Zed level up. There we go. So this is the best way for them to do it. That way they stop the Zed from leveling up. Pretty smart from the opponent. Let's go ahead and pick this Shark, just so that we have multiple Sharks in our graveyard. We don't really have any other target for the Shark, for the Fading Memories right now, so it makes no sense not to do it. It's pretty good.
Teemo,
that is pretty good. What if we just get another Shark? Now that's too much, right? Because he's already gonna be 3 attackers. He's already gonna be 2. Heck, even having the second Shark is not really gonna do anything. I guess I can wait. If the opponent kills if the opponent commits on killing Zed here. If opponent commits on killing Zed, okay, so if I summon, I think we just go like this. I think we let them kill the Zed, right? They're gonna kill the Zed no matter what. Because what's gonna happen here is by us having 3 Sharks on our graveyard, the Hecarim, right? It's gonna level up from just attacking. It's gonna have a full board of Ephemerals, sorry. Opponent's gonna have to play Thermal. And I don't think they play Thermal. So this is threatening the level up here because there's gonna be 3 Sharks that come back, plus the 2 Ephemerals from the Spectre Riders. So that's gonna give me to 5 out of 7. Opponent didn't have a way to stop it before they attack, so now they have to like absolutely block. Now this team is kind of getting a little bit scary. They're looking for like an answer, I guess, that could potentially allow them to survive this attack. But we just go like this. The Sharks all get summoned. Hecarim levels up, and everything now is doing 5 or 6 damage. I guess opponent could have second Poké Sticks and stuff, like other removal to remove stuff here. That's a pretty nice board. Triple Shark Chariot is not bad at all. Triple Shark Chariot is not bad at all. Yeah, they could have gotten another answer from Colleges. Allowing them to stop a little bit more attack, but they need to deal with 2, right? They need to still deal with 1. Actually, even if they kill the Shark Chariot, because of the overwhelm, it's still going to be 13. So they need to deal with 2 units. Unless they block like this. If they block like this, then now they can kill one of these 2, and they survive at 1. But that's their second team already. So then the opponent has to hope that... Okay, so they do have 2 removal spells. They just want to put damage on the Hecarim. So they want to put damage on the Hecarim. Why? They could have the recall, right? They could have the recall spell, which will bring back their team. Okay, stress defense. Alright, so by doing it this way, yeah, there's the Poké Stick. They do survive. Do we take this damage from Caitlyn? I think we do, right? We have to take that damage from Caitlyn. Opponent lost Teemo, so I'm not scared of the shrooms killing me. Another Shark, huh? We could also just stun the Caitlyn. How does that sound? Force the opponent. Yeah, I think I like this.
We are at the threshold of something great.
I don't mind keeping this Shark back. We don't need another Shark in the graveyard because we're really gonna get a full value of Ephemerals. Opponent's just gonna try to kill us all with the shrooms on one shot. Caitlyn, actually we can stop the Caitlyn from being able to kill us with her ability by glimpsing our own Hecarim. So that doesn't matter unless we hit double Flash Bomb. So if we hit double flash bomb, that's the only way that that matters. Nope. So then we go here. This is presenting lethal. Don't want to give the opponent a chance to summon the Karina, right? The Caitlyn didn't even level up, so we don't even need to glimpse anymore. Because the opponent didn't hit the 2 traps that they needed to level up Caitlyn. So they have to make us draw. I guess they could, right? They could level up Caitlyn here by having the draw spells, which is why we have to glimpse the Hecarim. So they're gonna have the 3 mana draw spells. He's trying to add as many streams as he can, right? So yeah. So we are gonna have to draw. So here's the question, right? By drawing twice, we're drawing 4 cards. 4 cards, so 36 divided by 4, right? So it's gonna be about 9. So why am I doing 36 divided by 4? We have 28 cards left. So each card in my deck has about 1 stream, so we're drawing 4. So in average, we should only be taking something around 5 to 6 damage. If we don't glimpse, we only draw 2, right? Opponent hits the flash bomb, and let's say they hit like 4 shrooms. That deals 4 plus the flash bomb, 5, lets them kill me. I think the glimpse is always correct. I think the glimpse is always correct because there's a higher chance of us dying to the killing skill than it is for us to die to the shrooms. 1. Because there you go, that's already 3 there, right? I guess the downside here is that we could potentially, draw enough flash bombs to stop our attack. Yeah, so she's already dealing 4. That's 6, 7. Yeah, we will absolutely just die to the Caitlyn. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, there we go. So we will just die to the Caitlyn because the Caitlyn's ability triggers when she strikes, even if she's blocking. So it was definitely a correct call there to just glimpse that Hecarim to prevent that, and there we go. We get the win. GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Jax Vayne. Jax Vayne, so we need to kind of race them down before they can race us down. Dragon Ambush is kind of nice. I like the Glenkeeper a lot better though. I try to set up from there. The Glenkeeper is such a good setup and making all our other ephemerals just so much bigger. Double Shark Chariot is also really nice. The problem is that the opponent probably has a way to kill this Glenkeeper, or probably kill the Soul Shepherd too, right? They're probably gonna have like the Fish Slap. So the Fish Slap is a big deal. A little bit unfortunate that we got this turn.
And punish the wicked.
Cool. So everything's gonna push a lot of damage. Opponent's gonna push a lot of damage. So what we have to do here, is gonna be, so this is gonna be 5-7. What we have to do here is gonna be Shark Chariot, and then next we're gonna do Shadow Apprentice and the Glenkeeper, which lets us summon the Shark Chariot back into our field. Oh, opponent. Oh, it's because he didn't wanna, because if he attacked with the Elkin, I block, right? I forgot about that because I can just block. I'm waiting for the Shadow Apprentice for this turn, next turn, so that I can trigger the Nightfall on the Glenkeeper. Yeah, so opponent was scared of me blocking here or blocking here. That's a very conservative attack. So we play Shadow Apprentice, we play Glenkeeper. This is gonna put our Hecarim at 2 out of 5. Which means that we're still 1 off from being able to level up Hecarim unless we summon Double Shark next turn. Which we can because of the fading. We could do it because of the fading memories.
Not even I know what I'm cooking.
So then we just kill the Bane so that the opponent doesn't get any more value there. All our sharks are dealing 4. So the opponent doesn't have a good blocker either. So the opponent doesn't really have a good blocker. I just want the opponent to stop getting value from Bane and the tumbles. So I think we always kill the Bane instead of trying to kill the combat cook. Opponent actually takes the 5. Which means that now they could potentially just straight up lose to the elusive, because we're gonna have a lot of ephemerals that get summoned. But the only downside for that is that we can only level up Hecarim we can only level up Hecarim if we don't attack with the Elusive.
Root out the
So we can only level up Hecarim if we don't attack with the Elusive. His opponent trying to go for like a lethal. I'm down to sacrifice one of these two. Because with twin backup, I don't see. I guess opponent could have concerted strike. Okay, so opponent's gonna just make the option for me. Decided that, hey, let's play something else instead, huh?
Sometimes
What
you're
if?
the fish, sometimes you're the bait.
No, because I really want to level up Hecarim, right? Hecarim needs 5. So the 2 soldiers plus the 2 sharks is what's gonna level up. The 3 sharks is what's gonna level up Hecarim. So I cannot copy the Glenkeeper if that is my goal. Which I think it has to be. Opponent tapped out a tumble. But I'm not too concerned about it. We do lose the Shepherd,
Here, fishy, fishy.
which sucks a little bit. We can actually block with the Shadow Apprentice, because I don't, again, we're not using the Shadow Apprentice to win it, to attack with anything anymore. Ugh, do I want to actually block here? I think I do. Opponent does have the tumble because I forgot that they have access to the combat reel. So they do get the tumble here, so they could actually attack again. But then that's tapping them down to 5 mana. If the opponent has a concerted strike, we lose the game. So if the opponent has a concerted strike, we lose the game because they're gonna have... Oh, that's not true, right? This goes down to 5, this goes down to 3, so it's gonna be 8. So we still beat the concerted strike. We still beat the concerted strike with the twin. So we beat the concerted strike with the twin, but we don't beat concerted plus catch or something similar. Hecarim here will level up because he summons 3 sharks. There it is. So if the opponent has exactly catch, if the opponent has exactly catch, we lose here. Actually, catch doesn't even work because the opponent didn't even do the Hookmaster like they were supposed to. They have to block with everything because everything gets buffed by 1 by the Glenkeeper, plus gets buffed by 3 with the Hecarim level up. I think this is lethal, right? They don't have enough blockers. This is each one of my units is dealing 6, plus the over 1 from Hecarim.
You're up, Chumbucket.
Single combat saves them, but then they still lose all their units, and we have a second Hecarim for next turn. Yeah, it's exactly 12. It's exactly 12 because everything gets buffed by 1 because of the Glenkeeper. If the Glenkeeper was not in the field, then we wouldn't have been able to get that extra buff that we needed to actually get our Spectral Raiders to be the threat that they're meant to be. So, GG's. So in this match, we're gonna get Zed Vayne. Problem against Zed Vayne is that they can usually kill us faster than we can kill them. And that's, honestly, a lot of times, obviously, very problematic. Now, I like the set. I think the Shadow Apprentice is too greedy. So Shadow Apprentice is not doing a lot in this matchup. The station is not bad, right? We can stop the opponent's aggression. But the rest of our hand looks not great. Unless we draw the Soul Shepherd right now. The Glenkeeper is not bad. Yeah, Glenkeeper is not bad, but I really want the Soul Shepherd. So that way we can actually just buff the rest of our units here. Yeah, so that's gonna make it so that we cannot play Zed next turn. Huh. I wonder if the opponent doesn't attack. Okay, they still attack. Interesting. I was honestly expecting it not to. Because this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna play Apprentice. So I'm gonna play Apprentice. Then I'm gonna play the Glenkeeper. Give ourselves a sapling. And then can even play the shadow, the Onslaught of Shadows. And the Onslaught of Shadows are each gonna be 3 attack units. Opponent probably has the way to kill our Zed. But I think I have to be okay with that. Just because of how much damage I'm pushing. I think especially because we have a second Zed. Yeah, what am I talking about? We have a second Zed, right? So does it really matter? I definitely have to bait them into spending the spell right now, whatever it is. Right, so whatever spell they have, they need to spend it right now. Because what they're gonna do is that they're gonna block with the Brock. I guess actually that's not true, because Zed has quick attack. Because the Zed has quick attack, even if the opponent has a twin, the quick attack happens first, and they're not able to kill the Zed. So we go like this. Yeah, so they want to block with the Broadwind here. But the quick attack happens before the Broadwind can hit back. So the Ouija Style it's not enough. Yeah, the Ouija Style is not enough. Oh no, it is, because we only have 2 health. Yeah, we only have 2 health. So it is enough. It is enough, because we only have 2 health. For some reason I thought Zed had more health. But still they go down to 5. So they still go down to 5 here. And we have a stage hand plus Zed plus sapling to set up next turn. So let's think about this. Let's think about this turn real quick. We want to play station next turn to remove a blocker. And we probably want to play the Onslaught of Shadows, so that's 4 mana. This is 5. Plus another 5 here is 10. And we only have 6 plus 6, which is 12. So we don't have enough to play Zed. So I actually don't think that playing Zed is correct. The reason I think the Dragon Ambush is correct right now, because we need to force the opponent to lose that blocker. Right? And we also like the heal. I like the Dragon Ambush right now, because these are both going to be 3, right? I like getting the heal. And also getting rid of the opponent's blocker. With the heal, I feel safe that I'm not going to just straight up die here, even if the opponent has like a rally. Then we can start with the Onslaught of Shadows and then the stage hand.
Hang on, Buzzball.
And we're not going to be wide enough, huh? We're not going to be wide enough. I guess we might be. Okay, we definitely are now. Is it better to play... This is giving me 2 units. This is also giving me 2 units. Station gets rid of a blocker. But then, this card is a little bit weaker than this card. We can also just play Zed instead now. But I think the station is definitely correct. I think the station is definitely correct, right? So we play station.
If we seek forgiveness, we must commit.
Then we play Glenkeeper.
Embrace your fate.
We can pull the Bane and also pull the elusives so that we don't die to random elusives. The Fleet Feather is probably the easiest one for us to deal with.
Hey, Krabby.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Wait, opponent doesn't have a Fearsome blocker, so this is pushing 4. They have to block here. They keep their Bane, but the Bane might be enough for them to win the game. They tumble for 0. Can I let them keep the Bane? Can I let them keep the Bane? They're gonna tumble right here, right? So we probably actually need to kill the Hookmaster. So we actually need to kill the Hookmaster. No, but they still get the Scout. They still get the Scout. If we kill the Hookmaster, opponent still gets the Scout. So we have to kill the Elusives for us to survive. Force the opponent to block here, but then they transfer the Scout weapon with the Tumble. And they still get to push the damage. They're actually going to sacrifice Bane. That means they have a second Bane. So what they're going to do here now is that they're going to do Tumble on the Glenkeeper duo. That lets them attack for 6. Is that enough for them to win the game? 6, and then next time they push more, they have Yolao. That should be enough. That should be enough. We need the shard. Oh wait, opponent. Oh well, they can just opponent just wasted mana for no reason, right? The tumble gives them the Scout if they do it. Yeah, so they wasted mana for no reason. Because the Tumble had done the same thing as then like playing it that way. My concern here is that we're taking 6. We're going to 9. Opponent plays Yoral. And if they have any other unit, they just win. And they win.
In the darkness.
They drew the set. Oh man, yeah, they win the game because of this, because of the scout. That's gonna be exactly 9, because this goes up to 4, and then with the set, it goes up to another value. Even if we have an elusive blocker, they have it. Close, close. Was there any way for me to win that? I mean, maybe the lifesteal was too aggressive, right? When we did the Dragon's Ambush. Maybe we should have just gone for Zed. Maybe the lifesteal was too aggressive. That's the only thing I can think of, right? We could have done the... I mean, I didn't know I was going to top pick another Glenkeeper. If I knew I was going to have another Glenkeeper, then we could have saved it from when we had 2 Glenkeepers. But I still think it was correct to be as mana efficient as we were. The downside is that the opponent just ended up getting the elusives and got the scout weapon, right? If they don't get the scout weapon there, they don't get to push as much damage as they did that time. And then we're able to survive and actually win the game. So... can't play around the opponent just improvising into scout weapon every single time. So GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Nocturne Elise. And I think this is bad for us. Oh, we're going against Nick? Oh my goodness, I just realized that. I think this is bad for us because opponent can just kind of like run us down. Because we're going to have a lot of blockers. I'm going to keep both my champions because if there's a chance for us to win, it's going to be up the back of Hecarim. Actually just leveling up and pushing enough damage. So we can start with the Shadow Apprentice, we can go the Soul Shepherd, we'll have a Zed that's going to be enabled. Opponent's playing the Onlooker because, you know, they can just attack with it to level up their Nocturne. So if the opponent develops here, we can play Soul Shepherd, allowing us to kill the Onlooker for free. Doesn't go for it. Oh, no, it goes for it. Cool. So we block here. What if we block here too? Why did we block here too so that the opponent doesn't have a blocker per set? If that was the case, I should have actually blocked the other way. I took an extra damage that I didn't need to. So now we can play Zed and now the opponent doesn't have a blocker for Zed here. Okay, they ended up getting one. So they can block here, protect 4 damage. You can always play the station, I guess, to stun the Elise. Yeah, by blocking it correctly, we can just play the station to stun the horror. That's a huge job. So we go here. That allows me to block the Elise if the opponent attacks with the Elise. Because what we can do next then is that we can do Onslaught of Shadows into Moonlit Glenkeeper, allowing us to actually just kill their boar. Oh, ay, you're in trouble, Nick. You're in a lot of trouble. The only downside is that we cannot... I mean, does it matter? Because these guys are going to be at 3, so it doesn't matter that we're not getting the value from the Glenkeeper. I think I want to trigger the Nightfall effect from him. So I want to trigger the Nightfall effect, so technically I could have summoned this first and then made these guys at 4 attack. I don't think that's necessary. This is gonna get... yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that, and you're gonna need a lot more of that. You're gonna need a lot more of that, my friend. Okay, so opponent has Fearsome blockers, which means that it doesn't matter which we do it. This is gonna add 4 to Hecarim, so Hecarim's gonna be at 5, which means that Hecarim just levels up next turn to win the game. Attacking with this doesn't make sense because opponent has enough Doom Beast, etc. So we just go like this. Needs to block Zed, otherwise Zed levels up. But the opponent also wants to keep enough units to be able to actually present lethal next turn. What I'm gonna do is that I'm actually gonna summon the Sapling Tusk. So I'm gonna summon the Sapling Tusk so that we get a blocker. We know that the opponent has at least 1 Doom Beast in their hand, right? So we know Nick has at least 1 Doom Beast. So what we can do here is that we can summon the Sapling Tusk, and the Sapling Tusk is going to be a fearsome blocker. Allowing me to just not straight up die. We also have Twin, so Twin also helps saves us there. And then we play Hecarim and we win the game. Okay, so yeah, we play Hecarim and that's fine. So you shouldn't have a way to beat this anymore. We have enough blockers for their fearsome units. We know that the opponent has just a Doom Beast in their hand. So there's only one card that we don't know about. So there's only one card that we don't know about, and I'm not really worried about it. So we can go here, we can go here.
I am a true master.
We can go here. I don't want to lose this to like a random Mark of the Isles. So, do we need this Soul Shepherd? I don't think we do. I don't think we need the extra damage there. I think we just go like this. So my concern with blocking over here is that we then lose to a Mark of the Isles. So if the opponent has Mark of the Isles, I'm willing to just take it. Because now they just lose in the open because we have leveled up Hecarim. Right? So Hecarim levels up. This is gonna be 5. You might as well attack here. And this is lethal. We have the twin to push damage if we need to. This gives everything +1, right? So all our ephemerals are just nuts. And there we go. GG's. Hecarim is pretty good when he levels up. In this matchup, we're going against Varus. So, more of a combo deck that we're going against right now. Sapling Toss, not great at the moment. I like the set. The Memory Cloak, oh, they only mulligan one card. They only mulligan one card. It's gonna be problematic. So, I think we actually block with the Shadow Apprentice. So I know we're losing some elusive damage, but I'm also preventing them from having like a target for stuff later, and also one less blocker for Zed. So I like blocking. I absolutely love blocking, right?
To know good from bad.
Now the opponent has one less blocker, potentially forcing him to have to block with the action. And we get the elusive anyways. Okay, they still get the blood letters, but they don't have enough mana to... I guess they could have access to... I'm gonna pass. Because they could have access to like the Ruthless Predator. And that will actually be a punish. So I'm gonna go here first. I'm gonna start with the Shadow Apprentice. Oh, they actually played Discord? What? Okay, I'm gonna admit it. I was not playing around the Discord. I did not play around the Discord. I haven't seen anybody play this card in this deck. I guess it's like a nice Mystic shot, huh? Here's the question. Is it Zed or is it Glenkeeper?
Greed will turn any man into a monster.
If we play Glenkeeper, we get to pull this out of the way. I mean, kill the action. This gets to push 2. If we play Zed, opponents losing their blockers. I like the Glenkeeper because he sets me up for a Dragon Ambush next turn. So the Glenkeeper sets me up for a Dragon Ambush next turn with the Glenkeeper on the field. Oh, momentous choice. Okay.
Talk is worthless. We are what we do.
So I'm glad it wasn't Zed then, right? We had just lost the set. So we would have lost the set anyways if we went for that route. So now that opponent did that, I actually didn't think I played the Dragon Ambush. I think I'd rather play the Dragon Ambush on my attack token with the Apprentice. So that the Apprentice goes like super high in value, right? We can play Stagehand to take one of their blockers out, then play Dragon Ambush. So let's think about it, right? So next turn we have 5-7 mana. We play Zed, we're left with 4 mana. On the turn after that, we have full spell mana plus 6. So we can play Stagehand and play Dragon Ambush. We could also not play the second Glenkeeper. But it's gonna push 4-7-9. But it's gonna push 4-7-9. They could also have access now to the Unforgiving Coal, which is gonna be a concern later. Okay, they're only gonna push 7, deciding not to attack with the 3-drop. We could also just play Station and then Glenkeeper. We don't have enough space to play the Soul Shepherd too, so yeah, let's go Station first.
We must commit all.
Then we play the Glenkeeper, giving us a really big sapling while still having access to Syncopation. Because we actually never had enough mana for the Dragon Ambush. We can also play Soul Shepherd and then Dragon Ambush. But I think Dragon Ambush is probably going to be really good next turn, right? We could attack with the Glenkeepers, but that seems a little bit trolly. Opponent's going to try to kill my unit. So, do we actually care about Zed? We absolutely do, right? I'm trying to think if I want to even kill Akshan. I think we absolutely care about Zed, because this is going to just get chump block anyways. So I think we go like this. Opponent's going to get, you know, spell shield on everything, which is a little bit unfortunate. So we can go like this. Because this guy's going to be a 5. I guess we could have also gotten rid of a Glenkeeper, but I think the Glenkeeper is going to be important for a Dragon Ambush. Because we're going to need the Dragon Ambush to be able to survive the Varus. I mean, Varus is not leveled up yet. I wonder if the opponent decides to draw instead, considering they only have 2 cards. Considering they only have 2 cards, they might decide to draw. Because the spell shield doesn't matter here. Why? I guess Absolver. So what that's telling me is that the opponent has Absolver. So if they have Absolver, I should just start with the Dragon Ambush here. So that we can heal up. And prevent this from just being able to OTK us. Okay. You have to have Absolver for this to make sense. Right? They can just not... Okay. So they tapped out of Absolver, so I'm just pressing OK. I can't press OK because they pulled this way. So I guess we gotta go like this. So 4, 6, 11. We only have 9, so we cannot do all of it. They just level up Varus and that lets them win the game. They had exactly the best, exactly 10. Yeah, so they had exactly enough mana to be able to just, I mean, so it's 11. If we had a twin or anything, we could have been there. A Dragon Ambush would have also done it. Now, if we let Zed die last turn, we're still in the same position. So I don't think the Syncopation really matters. So yeah, I think we have to try to do the Dragon Ambush instead of playing the Glenkeeper. I think that's the only way that we actually try to win that game. So GG's. In this match, we're gonna get Seraphine Ezreal Noxus. So this could be a good matchup in certain times, but also could be bad in other times. I know that's not a lot to go by, but it's really annoying. I guess is what I gotta say. So I'm actually gonna keep the Shadow Apprentice as a way to enable the Glenkeeper. I'm gonna play the Shark here. Just attack with it. We can play Soul Shepherd on turn 2. So we can play the Soul Shepherd on turn 2. Then we can play Shadow Apprentice on turn 3. I mean on turn 4. Yeah, so sorry. So Soul Shepherd on turn 3. Into Shadow Apprentice on turn 4. Let's see what the opponent does with those here first. If the opponent goes like this, I'm willing to do the Sapling Toss first then. So I'm willing to do the Sapling Toss just to make sure that we get at least 1 Ephemeral. Right? So go ahead, you can kill this now. I'm letting them know, hey, I just tapped out a twin. Go ahead and kill it. By having 2 Ephemeral units, I'm able to protect myself from at least one of them dying and preventing the Shark from coming down into the field. Now, if the opponent kills this now, doesn't kill us, so now we're not losing to the static shock, which is what I was going to be scared of, right? Like, if the opponent had access to the static shock, that would have been a problem. We can go the Glenkeeper here. Opponent goes for the fan club president, so we can potentially kill both their units while also just pushing damage with everything else. I mean, unless they just get something crazy out of this. Which they could, right? They could have the orange spell, right? So the orange spell completely screws me over here. So if they have it, they have it. I can't play around every single spell in the game. Every single 5-class spell in the game. And that's the problem with Fan Club President, right? Because you can pull from every single region, you really cannot play around it. It's kind of like Telescope, right? Telescope back in the day when Bando was first released, it was the same way. Because the epic cards could come from anywhere, it was like really hard to play around. So, okay, opponent, you either have it or you don't. Do you have? There we go. So that's the reason why we went the other way. What we can do is that we can go like this. Am I attacking with everything here? Because if the opponent doesn't block the shark, that's 5. That's 10. Even if the opponent has a flock for this later, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Even if the opponent has a flock for this later, it's worth it. Because the opponent's losing their blocker and committing a flock, right? So they're losing their blocker and committing a flock to actually be able to kill this Soul Shepherd. Because what's gonna happen right here is that they're gonna just... Okay, yeah, so they lose to Dragon Ambush. Dragon Ambush is really good in this matchup when people have nothing that they can do about it. Because now each of these Dragonlance is pushing 4 and the Shark is pushing 5. Opponent needs to flock this. Yeah, there we go. So by flocking it, they allow themselves to survive. Because they can just block. They can block with the Seraphine, but that's not true because it's exactly 7. So they still don't survive anyways. So yeah, Glenkeeper pretty good. So GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games. Had some really fun ones, so you can kind of see the power of this and the power of Shark Chariot. I feel like every game where we have multiple Shark Chariots, it was so easy. Like, it was so easy to just kind of win the game. I say that, but, you know, there was the Ezreal Seraphine game that was really, really close, even though we had, like, triple Shark Chariot in that graveyard, just because the opponent kept stopping our Ephemerals from being able to attack. In terms of mulligan, it's going to be Shark Chariot. Shark Chariot, Soul Shepherd, and Glenkeeper. I've been keeping it, but I don't know if that's correct, right? So I think it's going to always be Shark Chariot, Soul Shepherd, and Zed that are your main keeps. I'm even kicking the Shadow Apprentice these days because I feel like he's better off as you draw him later and you have already enabled your other ephemeral things on the field. So I'm looking again, Shark Chariot, Soul Shepherd, Zed, and Glenkeeper in a certain situation. If I already have a good enough early board, then I will keep the Hecarim as well, just so that he can be a game ender later into the game. But anyways, another thing that you can do with this deck is add some hand ruins if you want to. You know, it doesn't hurt. I mean, you know, you lose a lot of champions sometimes, a lot of units. Having Hecarim having the Hecarim can just bring stuff out into the field. The only reason that I didn't think Hecarim made sense is because you usually want to keep your engines on the field alive, like the Soul Shepherd and the Glenkeeper. So usually you are kind of constricted in board space, right? Because you're not really blocking with these units. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, enough about that. This has been longer than I thought because I've been doing longer deck breakdowns at the beginning of the video. So hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, go below and subscribe to us. We post our videos every single day. So you can keep learning from us about different deck archetypes. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund. We stream 2 to 3 times a week. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you all again tomorrow.